Be patient. Let me tell you something, young man. As you go through this life, you're gonna have some trials and tribulations, and you're gonna see some things that are gonna annoy you, and you're gonna want the world to speed up to your pace. But let me tell you something: patience. Patience is of a virtue. All great things in this world come with time, and they only come with time if you're putting in the correct inputs and you're moving with the right intentions and purity. See, one of the things I had to teach myself, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as you're like grinding, learning, and building yourself to be the best person you can be, is that the choices that you made 10 years ago are why you are in the current predicament you are in today. So if you're in shape, if you're making money, if you have an own place, a car, you're well spoken, cultured, and so forth, that is because early in your life, you made a lot of good choices that put you in this current predicament that allow you to exist as you exist. And you got to be thankful for that. You see, so often we want everything to just come to us right away. But one of the things you have to understand as a man is that things take time. Things evolve over time, and you have to be patient. See, one of the things I kind of learned when I was reading this book known as like Mastery, and this is one of my quotes, is that when you're walking the path of yourself, when you're trying to be the most authentic version of yourself, when you're trying to grow and learn and behave in a manner that puts you in the best position to be successful, one thing you're going to come into is that you're going to realize that you cannot be like there's nobody to really go to. You have to kind of like figure things on your own. Like you can look back in history, look at the lessons, the principles, and things that can be used, but there is no blueprint for you. You are living your blueprint. And so if you want to have one of those lives where you're celebrated as one of the great men of your time period, one of your era, and you're a thought leader and a activist, I'm not going to say activist, but a thought leader, a revolutionary, a guy that goes against the grain, a maverick, things of that nature, you have to do things differently than what you've seen. You have to trust your own instincts and follow yourself and follow your own path towards your destiny. And so there is nobody to go to. There's nobody to coach you. There's nobody to rely upon when figuring out the trials and tribulations of your life. You must move forward. In the words of Erwin Smith, advance. And advancing is going to come with some pains and some struggles. See, like I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the term of the bleeding edge, but when you're on the bleeding edge of things, you're going to bleed. You're going to get cut. You're going to fall on yourself. You're going to scrape yourself. You're going to get some bruises. But that's part of the game. Part of the game, and that's what makes it so fun and so wonderful and so exhilarating and makes your life so like magical and allows you to exist in like reality in such a different way. Is because every day is a new experience. Every day you're writing a new like page in the legend of you. And this is why it's so important to keep a notebook. See, I keep a notebook. I got logs and logs of my life, of days of my life, things I was thinking, things I tried to do that day, accomplished. And the reason you should have these things is because it gives you a sense of scope of how far you came and what you accomplished in this day and age in life. And a lot of times, most guys, they don't keep track of what they're doing in life. So if you don't keep track of things, you're not going to be able to like accomplish things. Like the work will always reveal itself, always. And that's why I love like being this entrepreneur, because every day, everything that I do brings me closer to my destiny, which is building an estate, having a wonderful family and kids and everything else, and being on the path, generational wealth to my kids. And one of the things that writing allows me to be able to look at when I go back and check my life is that I can see how far I came. I can see what my projection is. See, it's hard to tell how far you've gone in life if you don't have a reference point for where you were in life. And so often, most people don't get fucking bugs. I'm just get so annoyed with these things, these little insect things flying around. But so often in life, we don't keep track of where we are, and so we can never see how far we came. And when you can see how far you came in this life, it's very useful and very uplifting and empowering to know, hey, I can get through what I'm going through because I've been through it before. This is not my first time. And what you start to notice is that it gets easier. It gets so much easier with time. Like, for example, I like to use running. If you run 20 minutes every day, or say, for example, you couldn't run a mile, and then you run every day, and every day that you run, you get better, you get stronger, you get more physically equipped. By the time you're able to run like an hour straight, you're not even able to realize how far you came. You're just like, okay, an hour running. But you don't realize you came from running like 15 minutes or just walking. And now you're at the point where you can run an hour. And so things like that should inspire you to keep going, keep running, keep doing more and more and more, and keep building yourself. Because the more you're building yourself, the more you're accomplishing, you can see the magnitude of work. You can look back in your blueprint of you and see where you're going. And then you can set a blueprint for other people. So then other people will follow in your footsteps. But you don't want people following your footsteps all the way. You want them kind of just to see the route, be the trailblazer, and then for them to go make their own trail. So jump in. What I want you guys to understand as you grow and you accomplish things in this life is understand patience. Patience is going to get you where you need to be. Almost everything in life gets better with time if you're doing the right things. If you're being a good man, your life's going to get better. If you're being a better husband, your relationship's going to be better. If you're being a good businessman, your business is going to get better. Everything gets better when you're patient. If you don't try to rush things. And I know when you're young, you think you got to get it all right now. You got to do it all now. Dude, listen, you got a lot more time than you think you do. As I said, the sooner it start, the better. But all that means is you just get the compound longer. And don't ever regret things of the past. Just look at it as a lesson, something that you grew from, something that you were able to learn from, and something that gave you wisdom. Because a lot of times, like, if you don't look back in your past and see the mistakes and see what you could have been better, you don't acquire the wisdom that you would have come to learn from that fucking lesson. But anyway, appreciate you for listening. Best of luck to you. Reach out to apexapien.com if you want to talk, learn more about life, and grow, and see how you can build a blueprint for your own life.